What's up guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding, and we are on our way to the Bodypower expo in Birmingham, which we will be of course 3 days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday from May 10 to May 12, and we're on our way. We have been driving for about 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes, and we still got a few hours to go until we reach the train that goes to England, and then we have to drive another couple of hours to get actually to the Bodypower Expo itself. We are driving with two cars. We are in the Vintage Genetics Mobile driving, and there is my dad driving with another van, and we are fully packed with clothing. So it's the middle of the night right now. As you can see, it is almost 5 a.m., 7 degrees. So yes guys, we are on our way, and in a few hours you will see us with the train going to England itself, and we will be logging every single thing during this Bodypower Expo. So it's going to be awesome, and I want to thank you guys for your support to make it possible for us to even be there, having our own booth, because you support us, we're able to invest everything back into the company and make trips like this. Alright guys, we are now close to the train that goes to the England, and we're driving towards the entrance right now. We gotta show the passport and stuff because it is actually in France. So we actually went to Belgium first, then to France, and now we're going to England after we pass this train. Alright, we made a quick stop at the Starbucks before we head on the train to the Bodypower Expo, to England first actually. And we're gonna walk towards the Vintage Genetics Mobile, and the gray van next to it is from my dad, and they are both filled to the brim with a lot of clothing and items for the booth. So we have a half an hour until we go on the train to England, so let's do it. Okay, this is the road towards the train. The train is right there, and this train will actually carry all of these cars, and you can see in the mirror a lot more cars are coming, a lot of them, and we're all going to go in that train. And that train will actually go from France, where we are right now, underwater, and it will go to England. And that's gonna be incredible. All right, we're gonna go inside. Inside the train. Yeah. There we go.
Rijexamen ook weer gaan?
Alright, we just arrived inside the National Exhibition Center, or the NEC. And this is what it looks like before everything is built. A lot of white walls. As you can see, a lot of stands are still empty, as are ours. And we're now going to build it up and make sure it's ready for tomorrow, because it's Thursday right now. And on Friday, the expo begins. So we unpacked everything from our own Vintage Genetics Mobile. And now my dad will be here any second with his own van with a lot more equipment. But right here are the boxes for the clothes. As you can see, a lot of boxes filled to the brim with clothes. And this is our booth right here, number 58. This will be filled up entirely. So right now what you see is very different from what's gonna be at the end. But for now, as I'm a bodybuilder, I've got to eat my meals, of course. The turmeric rice prepared at home. This is smoked salmon, a different version from this. This is wild salmon smoked. This has actually no fat in there. This is a lot of fat in there, but it's both very good. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this meal. Right, and then it is time to actually build the booth. So we arrived on Thursday, and on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the expo. So we arrived pretty early on Thursday as we left the home very early at 4 a.m. So that gave us enough time to construct the booth. We didn't have a plan beforehand, but it turned out pretty nice. We are in the process of building the stand. And the next clip you will see, it will be finished a lot, much more than this. Yes.
Do you have all the sizes?
An M. Everyone asks for an M.
Well, do you have an XL?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you had left them at home.
The small are at home. No one who gets small can get them here.
Okay. Are you excited to see the followers tomorrow?
Yes.
Nou, een muitje even overheen.
And I actually decided to purchase a flag that was 5 meters high, so everybody could actually see us from a long distance, because that was a complaint we had last year. A lot of people told me they couldn't find the booth, because of course we didn't have the biggest booth out there. It was a little bigger than last year though, but still not big enough to be noticed right away, so of course we placed a flag there, so even from afar you could see exactly where we are. And then the expo begins on the first day on a Friday, and it's been pretty amazing, I have to tell you. We were able to put everything in the booth that we wanted, and this is the new Whey isolates released by Vintage Genetics and Gladiator. So you can place a pre-order actually at becomegladiator.com. 91 grams of protein per 100 grams. Everything is going quite well for a Friday. It's not as busy as the weekends, but it's going quite well, and my voice is starting to disappear, but that's a good sign, because then it's busy enough. And this is our booth right here, selling quite a lot of items. We didn't record that much the first day of the booth, but it was quite busy even for a Friday, but Saturday and Sunday will be even more insane. But as you can see in this video, it motivates me to actually work out at Dino's gym. And of course, when you enter Dino's gym in Birmingham, you can really smell the iron, watch all the hardcore bodybuilders work out. The atmosphere is amazing, always around the Bodypower weekend. This is the gym that I go to. And the music, yes, the music. I love it. Love it or hate it, but it will give you power and energy and drive to do your best during this workout. And of course, the first workout that we did was train the chest. And just look around at this gym, just old school iron. Look at that bench. I mean, it's just, to me, a gym like this is amazing. It doesn't always have to be state of the art. Sometimes pure, heavy iron is enough, because iron, no matter where it is iron. And of course I'm working out with my dad, the both of us training chest. My mom is recording and my girlfriend is actually doing a live video during this workout, and you probably saw this as well if you follow me on Instagram at Wesley Vissers. Sometimes when we go to these expos, and sometimes in general as well, we do some live videos, which is pretty amazing and cool to do because of the comments we get. And my girlfriend really liked to do that as well, but you can see the bench in optimal state. But that's really what this gym is all about. You can feel the decades of hard bodybuilding work being done in this gym, and you can still see the remnants of the destruction And here I'm actually doing some face pulls to strengthen the rotator cuffs and the rear delts during a chest workout. It's something I actually recommend you guys do as well. If you feel shoulder impingement or any irritation in the shoulder joint, strengthen the rear delts as well. I kind of am now warming up the shoulders even during the chest workout instead of just doing rear delts on a back day. I do some rear delt work in between bench press sets. When I feel the front delts, I simply do the rear delts as well. And here's Mr. Dino himself, the owner of the gym. He's a fantastic guy, so to say. That's his favorite line. But yes, we are always very welcome in this gym, and he's a true hardcore bodybuilding lover. For decades, Dorian Yates and all the old school bodybuilders have trained here at least once. And there's so many awesome pictures on the wall, and of course on 2 TV screens, old school bodybuilding documentaries and footage is playing. For example, Pumping Iron, of course, but also the Olympias that Lee Haney won. Just good old school bodybuilding. And honestly had no idea how much weight was on the bar until I watched this video and recounted it, but apparently it was 145 kilograms. I was still able to do, I believe, 10 reps with it. Of course, this was after the expo. The expo is from 9 AM to 6 PM, and before 9 AM you have to get everything ready, so it was a long and pretty tiring day, but at the same time you were very energized by all the people who come to see you just because it's you, it's vintage genetics and what we represent. Classic bodybuilding, of course, and this you gotta yes, that's the sound of your dad doing the same weight as you in the final set. But again, it's really awesome that we are able to train together, and we heard actually a lot of people telling him that he's a motivation for a lot of people his age. He actually turns 50 tomorrow, actually on Saturday. So for being that age and still working out this hard, he's a motivation to a lot of parents and a lot of people in their 50s. So that's amazing to hear, and of course it gives back to him as well, being a motivating factor. As something that I'm motivated by is when people tell me that they are inspired by watching the videos, and that motivates me to keep doing my very best. And then we did the decline bench press, which is an amazing exercise. Actually, I researched it a little bit. Actually, came across a research that said that the decline bench press compared to the incline bench press is actually better for overall chest development and as good for the upper pecs as the incline bench press. So if you want an overall development of the pecs, do the decline bench press before sticking to an incline bench press all the time, because the incline also really targets the front delts, which could cause some irritation or injury, especially when you already train the front delts on a separate day. So stick to decline bench press for a good while and see the gains. Build up some strength of it. We don't have a decline bench at our own gym. I'm planning on purchasing it though, so I wasn't able to really build strength on this exercise because you have to get used to the lift. But once you actually build strength with it, it's an amazing exercise to build power and mass in your chest, also the upper chest. And then we did some Pec Deck Flyes, and as you can see, you don't even know how much weight you're doing, which is the best way to work out. Feel the muscle work. And of course, you're getting a very good pump here. How can you not get a pump in a gym like this? But yes, we did the Pec Deck Flyes right after doing first the bench press and then the decline bench press, and then these are a great isolation movement to get an even better pump in the chest. And this exercise is amazing. This machine ensures a proper stretch, but also most importantly, in my opinion, during the pec deck, a contraction. This contraction literally carves the details into your chest, the striations you want to see when you are lean. So make sure to actually squeeze for at least a second to get the most out of this exercise. And when you do have a spotter, you can actually go past failure and actually destroy the chest even more on a negative part of the range of motion. The eccentric movement that you actually do when you go backwards with the pec deck here. My dad is helping me with the concentric movement, and I am doing the eccentric movement myself. And during the eccentric part of the range of motion, you destroy the chest the most, or you destroy any muscle the most, which causes more hypertrophy. So if you have a spotter, make sure he spots you only on the concentric part, right here, this part, and let them do their own work on the eccentric part or the way down. You know, in most gyms, posing and posing practice isn't really condoned in a way, but in this gym it is actually advertised, is recommended to do. Here, doing some posing is encouraged. So if you normally work out in a public gym, of course this also is a public gym, but a very different one at that, you might not be used to posing, you might not even want to pose as you're simply being felt like you're being looked at. But here, when you use some poses, you feel at home, because this is where you build the muscle. And eventually, the best way to see if your physique is properly balanced is by doing some poses. So exactly, that is what you should do, just like the classic bodybuilders back in the day did, in between pretty much every single set, to see how it felt, how they looked, and what the progression was. And this next exercise, the machine dips, again an amazing exercise for the lower pecs. Just like the decline bench press, just imagine the movement is almost the same, it's just a different angle that I'm using right here. But this machine allows you to put on a belt, and it allows you to go very heavy, so you can get a very nice stretch at the top and also a nice contraction at the bottom, which makes this an amazing exercise to do. Alright, the next one, the overhead tricep extension on a machine. This is, not every gym has this machine, but it's a very nice one because you feel a constant tension all the way up and all the way down. You should go down as much as you can. The triceps were pretty pumped already from all the chest work, but still going down as much as you can actually allows you to feel that stretch in the tricep, and you want to feel the stretch in the long head. Alright, when you go a little heavier during a workout in this gym, it's simply, you simply have a lot of fun here. You challenge each other, you go as heavy as you can, with correct form of course. But as I mentioned, you want to feel the stretch in the long head here, because every overhead exercise is really the best for the long head. And the long head is what makes your arm looks the biggest. And because my triceps are more of a weak point compared to the biceps, I want to work those triceps. And then it is time for another good exercise, the rope tricep extension. And in my opinion, this is one of the best exercises to really carve detail into the triceps. Now, what I'm about to say is not science-based at all. At least I don't think so, never done research to it. But in my opinion, if you do exercises with a full range of motion, especially on the contraction part of the motion, you get better detail and better quality of the muscle. Because if you go all the way down, for example, on this rope pushdown, you simply carve, literally carve those details in the triceps. Because imagine doing that year after year, workout after workout, every single time. You literally put those details in the triceps. You feel the pain every time you contract in those triceps, and every time you train and you see the striations get bigger and larger and more defined. And in my opinion, that is a great way to ensure that you get quality muscle mass. And at the same time, it is best for preventing injury as well, so why not always do it? So here, as you can see, I go all the way up, a little higher than 90 degrees, ensuring a good stretch in those triceps, and then going all the way down, making sure I get a full contraction in those triceps to really ensure all the blood being pumped in there, pushing those muscle fibers to the limit. And look at that, right on that TV screen you can see Lee Haney, so how can you not get inspired to also do some posing of your own to make sure that you are on par with where you want to be? in your bodybuilding career. So yes, it's a great lining as well, I have to say. Getting a good pump under this lining always is a great way to gauge your progression. And the real weak points that I want to work on is of course the legs, the hamstrings, the glutes mostly, but also the back thickness in general and the triceps. But when I get that fixed, which I intend to do this very year, then I will go back to competing and showing off what I have built in the gym. Because see it like this, all the gyms are the tools that you use to craft your statue, aka your physique. That is the art of bodybuilding. And then to further that art, that statue, we do some underhand tricep extensions or tricep pushdowns. These are a great way to add some mass to the long head and the medial head, which is of course the weak point that I have in the triceps. And here my dad again is helping me only on the concentric part, and I'm damaging the triceps the most by stopping the weight going upwards on the eccentric motion. That causes most hypertrophy. So if you have a spotter, make sure that they help you on the concentric part and you do the rest on the eccentric part for the most possible growth. Then I also decided to do some last sets of dumbbell side lateral raises, which is an amazing exercise to do to build some more width to your V shape of your entire body. So if you lack wide shoulders, you really have to do build the side delts. With this exercise, I at least want to do 15 reps, starting out with actually 25 reps with a lighter weight, but this is the second or third set, so I'm doing a little heavier here until 15 reps. But this was part 1 of the Bodypower videos. Lots more is coming. Thank you for watching. Alright guys, before letting you go, I just want to tell you that we have been working on a supplement line called Gladiator Pro Sports. It is synonymous with Vintage Genetics. It is my own brand, but that will be the name of the supplement line. But here you can actually put a pre-order for the whey isolate. Just fill in your name and your email, then click that button right there and you can actually pre-order the whey isolate. And it is entirely formulated by myself. So any ingredient you see in there has been formulated, tasted and tested by me to make sure that the quality is really where it should be, because I am aware there are so many companies out there. So if you do it, you have to do it right. So you can see right there, per 100 grams there is 91 grams of protein in there. That is what a whey isolate is about, to get the most possible protein per 100 grams for the highest possible quality. So yes, all you're gonna get is really an email if you go to this site, becomegladiator.com, which is the site to get a 10% discount. So you get an email when the supplements are released, and you can actually then choose to purchase it. You get a 10% discount. So yeah, if you do decide to go to this website and put your email in, I would really appreciate it, because it would show me that there is interest in this supplement line. It's going to be a very high quality and all the ingredients in there will be approved by yours truly. Thank you again very much for the support, and don't forget to stay golden.